This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Blacula, a blaxploitation horror film from 1972, directed by William Crain. In the year 1780, the African prince Mamuwalde seeks the help of Count Dracula to help his country, only to be attacked, bitten, and trapped in a coffin while his wife is left for dead. Almost 200 years later, his coffin is transported to Los Angeles, where his reign of terror begins almost immediately, hindered only by Tina, a woman who bears a striking resemblance to his late wife. His nights are now split between building an army of vampires and seducing Tina to become his wife, but it isn't long before the police are on the case, and with it the exposure of Blacula's true nature. Despite being in the blaxploitation genre, it's far less driven by action or comedy, which might be a surprise if you've got any other preconceptions about the genre. For example, if all you've ever seen are Dolomite, Shaft, The Human Tornado. Anyways, this would still fit into blaxploitation by the simple virtue of being Black Dracula. Shocking, yes, but that's pretty much the whole story in a nutshell. It's a contemporary take on the character, transplanting his basic story structure and plot points to a familiar setting for modern audiences. It makes the jump pretty well, fully and freely doing whatever it needs to do to feel natural, with a touch of a contrast between Blacula's archaic mannerisms with Los Angeles of the 1970s. It does play a little bit into campiness and cheese a few times, usually regarding minor characters who are just there to be killed, but for the most part the movie maintains a more serious tone, though it isn't necessarily dramatic overall. There are some social themes brought up, but not to any great extent outside of giving some characters a reason to be killed off later. There also isn't much for the major characters in the way of development or personality, come to think of it. Really, they pretty much just fulfill whatever role they need to fill in order to get through the story, which in one respect is fine for a straightforward adaptation like this, but also ends up a detriment as it could have allowed some room for some newer story material, whether it be to expand the characters or pander to modern trends. As it stands, the story is fine and serviceable, but the lack of any real expansion feels like a missed opportunity to me. Anyways, the technical production of Blacula is, in fact, another reason why the movie still falls within the blaxploitation genre. It's far from being a big-budget production, relegated to small sets that are reused as much as possible, or existing locations owned by friends or others who are willing to let the filmmakers have a few hours of their time. As a result, camera work is generally flat and unimaginative, given the limited amount of space to shoot from, though there are a few creative point-of-view shots and one or two surprisingly effective jump scares. Otherwise, it's all practical and made to let you see what's going on more than anything else. Editing and color choices are also made without any creative touches, the latter simply being whatever the world looked like at that point in time. It's ultimately all in line with the kind of low-budget production common among blaxploitation films, where half of the appeal is more in the sensationalistic marketing. Even so, there's something to be said about the effort to make something outside of the more popular genre norms, and leaning into a more dramatic horror tone. At least I'd say that there was an effort to stand out like that. Blacula, William Crain, 1972. 3 stars. I'd say it's still worth giving it a try. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I'm sure there were other more dramatic blaxploitation movies out there. I'm pretty sure I watched a few trailers for them in the past. I wonder if I'll ever get to see some of those in the future. Might be fun.